It is the fire meant to burn off the weak version of you that can't walk into your future. When you begin the process of fixing yourself, you will lose things. You will lose distractions. You will lose people. You will lose habits that once gave you comfort. You will even lose pieces of your identity that were never truly yours. Masks you wore to belong. Voices you copied to feel safe. And with all that loss, you'll be tempted to retreat, to turn back, to pick up the broken pieces again just to feel whole. But don't. Let it burn. Let it burn. Let the silence break you, because only through that breaking can something unshakable be built. The version of you that you're trying to become can't be built in public. It can't be shaped in front of crowds. It has to be forged in secret. Isolation is not punishment. It's the sacred ground where destiny is born. It is the place where you face yourself without filters, where you confront your darkness without distraction, where you bleed without applause and heal without validation. That's where real growth begins. That's where the loudest transformation happens, in total silence. But see, we've been trained to fear solitude. We think being alone means we're unloved. We think silence means rejection. That's the lie. The truth is, some people had to walk away so you could finally hear your own voice. Some comforts had to be removed so you could stop numbing and start feeling. Some doors had to close because the new version of you can't walk through the old ones. In isolation, you learn discipline, not for others, but for yourself. You wake up not because someone is watching, but because you've made a vow to yourself. You train your mind, not for performance, but for survival. You stop chasing attention and start chasing alignment. There's no audience in isolation, and that's where your motives get purified. Anyways, when there's no one to impress, the only thing left is truth. And it's the truth that sets you free. You learn to sit with your past without letting it define you. You learn to sit with your pain without letting it break you. You learn to carry yourself like a soldier, even when no one's clapping. And that's the kind of strength the world can't give. And it can't take away, because it wasn't built for them. It was built in you. The problem is many people don't make it through this season. They confuse loneliness with isolation. They start chasing noise again. They run back to the very chaos they cried to escape. They reach for old habits, old people, old versions of themselves just to avoid the silence. But silence is the mirror. It shows you what distraction was hiding. It shows you what you've been avoiding. It shows you who you really are. And if you're courageous enough to look, it shows you who you're capable of becoming. You can't fix yourself while keeping one foot in the past. You can't evolve while still trying to entertain the crowd. You have to go through the wilderness. You have to walk through the season where nobody checks on you, nobody praises you, nobody understands you. That's where your roots grow deep. That's where you stop needing external things to validate internal value. That's where you become untouchable. Not because you're numb, but because you're grounded. It's in isolation that you discover your standards. You learn what you will no longer tolerate. You learn what kind of energy you want to keep around. You stop begging for access to people who never saw your worth, and you start protecting your space like it's sacred, because it is. And the more you protect it, the more clearly you hear the call that was always buried beneath the noise. So don't fear the silence. Don't rush the process. Don't curse the solitude. Let it do its work. Let it strip the old you. Let it show you the truth. Because when you emerge, when you finally walk out of that furnace, you won't just be healed. You'll be whole. You'll walk different, speak different, move different. Not because you became someone new, but because you finally remembered who you were before the world taught you to forget. Fixing yourself demands isolation. It demands you walk through the fire without applause and still choose to keep going. And when you do, you'll no longer need the crowd, because you'll have become the kind of person who doesn't need to be seen to know they carry power.